Everyone's telling you to wake up at 5 a.m. if you want to be successful. But what if I told you that's the reason why you're not getting your results? Here's why waking up at 5 a.m. works for some people, but it's completely useless for others. Hey guys, if you're new to the channel, my name's Erika. I'm the host and founder of the Balance Theory podcast. I also work as a lawyer and I am a new expecting mum. And today I want to talk about why the 5 a.m. club might be a myth, it might not be, but it's not something you should blindly follow and take as something for yourself. Today, we're going to work out if you are the type of person that is suited for the 5 a.m. club, or if you're simply not and you're self-sabotaging yourself by trying to force yourself to be a morning routine. This is a self-development channel. So my goal is to empower you to just get curious about your own life so that you can create a life that is super aligned for you and experience it in the way that you want to, not what you've seen on someone else's Instagram or TikTok and try and copy paste that. We can use people as inspiration, but we need to know ourselves best. Let's start with why some people swear by it. So, the whole concept of waking up early is that you can get more done because there are less distractions, because naturally, less people are up at 5 a.m. Also, and this is just generally speaking, waking up at a consistent time, it creates discipline and consistency, right? Which is very important for you to achieve things. Those two things are really, really key ingredients. And I mean, you hear it a lot, right? A lot of successful people wake up super early. But is it overrated? Well, personally, I think it is a little bit because it assumes that every single person functions at their highest potential first thing in the morning, which is simply not the case. I'm sure you guys have heard of like early birds and night owls, right? Early birds are people who have a lot of energy in the morning. I'm definitely one of those people. Night owls, which is actually my husband, are people who have energy later in the evening. They're people who like to train later in the day. They're people who like to do work, deep work later in the day, right? The morning is not for them. Like, don't even speak to them until they've had a coffee type situation. So those people, they put themselves in the bucket of, I'm going to get up early and I'm going to do this 5 a.m. thing. They're really working against their own natural energy. Instead of copying somebody else's routine, you need to actually firstly work out, are you a early morning person, or are you a bit more of a night owl? Drop which one you are in the comments below. I'd love to hear which of our audience is which. A really good sign is if you're a night owl, right, and you try and get up early, or sometimes like you probably have to get up early for work or the gym or whatever, you probably often feel guilty that you can't stick to it, right? Like it doesn't feel natural for you. And that is simply because you are going against your own natural energy. It makes sense, right? So instead of forcing a 5 a.m. routine, here's what you can do instead. You're going to want to start tracking your high energy moments. Now, honestly, whether you're a morning person or a night owl, you can do this and it will be beneficial for you to get to know yourself a bit better. So as you're working throughout the day, let's just do it for a week. Start tracking what hours in the day you have the most energy. We call these like energy peaks, or you have the least energy. We call them energy dips, right? Start just taking little notes on your phone. Monday was this, Tuesday was this, etc. And it'll start to paint a really obvious picture for you when you have the most energy. And I say do it over a week because we just want to get like an average, because we could have a really bad sleep and that might impact one specific day. So just do it for a week or two to just really get a good bird's eye view on your energy peaks and dips. You guys know how much I value health and wellness, but I'll admit, choosing whole foods, supplements, and vitamins can feel so overwhelming. I find it so hard to know which brands are clean and high quality versus those that just claim that they are. That's why I'm so excited to have NUTRAORGANICS as a sponsor of today's episode, because their range of clean and effective products have become an absolute staple in my routine over the last few months, notably the bone broth and the collagen powder. What really sets them apart from other brands, in my opinion, is their research-backed approach. I take so much comfort in knowing that every single ingredient has been thoughtfully researched by their in-house team of nutritionists. With over 25 years of experience, it's no wonder they're a trusted brand. You guys, if you're in Australia, may have even seen them in Woolies. As an added bonus, they're family, pregnancy, and postpartum friendly, so you know that they're packed with nothing but the good stuff. If you, like me, just want to take quality supplements without having to decipher and decode every ingredient or back of label of every product, then I highly recommend trying NUTRAORGANICS. The team have kindly given us a code so that you can get 15% off your order. So head to nutraorganics.com.au or hit the link in the show notes and use the code The Balance Theory at checkout. Let's get back into today's episode. Once you've done that, You need to think about your routine as something that works when you have the most energy. I'm just going to use the example of meditate, journal, exercise as like a standard morning routine, right? This is in no means the perfect morning routine. It's just for a working example. When you work out, okay, this is my routine, whether it happens at 5 a.m., 7 a.m., 10 a.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m., whenever it actually happens is irrelevant. What matters is that you're doing those things in a time that serves you best, A, depending on your routine, and B, more importantly, depending on your energy. And then all that matters after that is that you're consistent with that. Instead of taking that string of habits and trying to force it in what you think is the right thing to do, the better question is, when do you have the most practical time and the most energy to make time for those habits? The answer might be 5 a.m., right? You might be a morning person like me, love knocking it out first thing in the day. But for those of you that have been trying to make that work and just haven't been feeling it, this is probably why. So find a time that works for you and put your routine there. So even feel free to scratch the morning part out of morning routine. Just call it your routine and make it work on your own time. So really the whole aim of this video is to get you to stop asking, should you be getting up at 5 a.m. and to start asking, when do I have the most energy and how can I optimize that? So final thoughts, is the 5 a.m. really worth it? It is if it works for you. And if it doesn't work for you, you can simply scratch out 5 a.m. and put whatever time works best for you whenever you have the most energy, whatever makes sense for your routine. And that is a much more empowering way of looking at structuring your time and creating discipline and sticking to your habits than trying to copy paste what you're seeing is working for a lot of other people. If you enjoyed this video, I have a whole playlist on time management and productivity related videos. I'm going to put it in the show notes now so you can binge all the episodes there. It's a complete mix of interviews and videos just like this. But if there's anything else you want to see in upcoming videos, drop a comment below and let me know. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then.